So hello and welcome again with SS Moments towards a new world. As you have gone through the First World War and Second World War, the main heroes we can say for the Second World War was Italy, Germany and Japan. Apart, America was attacked by Japan, Port Harbor. So, America joined the Allied Nations. There are two parts, Allied and Axis nations. Allied nations are European countries, and then they got the support of Japan, for America. And while this war, America dropped two atom bombs, nuclear bombs, we can say that, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, two cities of Japan. About more than 1,25,000 Japanese were affected by this. Till today, the effects of this bomb, the radiations of this bomb is continuing as from about 30 kilometers area nearby from these two cities. People, animals are born with disabilities. So you can understand that how much dangerous the effects are of this bomb. And if we are facing Third World War, then it can create a heavy, large, big, huge disaster among the world. Might the world not be in existence too? So, after the attack of America, Japan lost, and they have to now keep up their weapons, and they surrendered. And from that 1939, I think so, the war was over. 1945, 1335, I forgot, sorry. 45, 11th August, I'm sorry. 11th August 1945, the Second World War came to an end. And for every reason there are effects. For everything there are effects. As you can know that if there is a ceremony, good or bad, after that their effects are there. So what were the effects of the World War II and what were the immediate, someone pronounce immediate, it's up to you how you pronounce this thing, both are in our language. So let's go through immediate effect. Economical effect, we can say that the main thing that happens, this war has caused horrendous, unpleasant, we can say, destruction in the world. All the involved nations had incurred huge expenses, obviously, for about 5 to 6 years. You can just imagine there is war. We are fighting against today with Corona, COVID-19. We can understand that from about 6 months we are facing problems. How many economical effects happens on our family, on our country, on our state, on our world, we can say. Crores and crores, billions and billion dollars, money, rupees, we can say, are wasted over there. There is lots and lots of loss regarding the whole world, economical loss, we can say. So America had spent $350 billion and other nation has spent more than $1,000 billion. Property was the same, had been destroyed too. Apart from money, apart from currency, apart from capital, we can say, property also has been ruined over there. England lost its property worth 2,000 crore, and about Germany, one can't imagine. The nations of the world gave more importance to the production of arms and armaments. So there was a scarcity of things for basic needs. Production reduces, inflation crashes your price, you can see, price rise, etc. This whole chapter you will study later in your economic section. Increased, people were struggling for livelihood. There was scarcity of necessary goods in the market, as we are today nowadays facing of scarcity of food, water, everything. The economic life of people was shattered. As a result, the nations of the world were pushed into an economic depression. There were major changes in the world, politics and economy. So this factor affects too much economy. Everything stands for economic condition of a place, a city, a house, etc. we can say. Everything depends on the economic condition. So economically, each and every country has too much of losses. Now communism in China. What happens of China? Many nations of the world were impressed by the way Russia had made a fast progress with its communist measurement. With the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, China too was impressed. Japan had become weak after the Second World War. Under these circumstances, its control over China has receded. Taking advantage of this, Mao Zedong established communist rule in 1949 at the end of a revolution in China. You all know that China, most probably part of China, was ruled by Japan, but due to loss of Japan in the Second World War, Japan became too much weak, and in China, there was a communist ruler. The Communist Party came into existence and they ruled over in 1949. You can understand, in 1949 they were independent, and we got independence on 1947, 2 years before than China. Though today China stands a superpower, while India is developing country, while China is developed country. You can understand the difference between because of the Communist Party. You cannot just go, you cannot speak something throughout in China. No doubt we have the democracy over here, for the people, of the people and by the people. But in China the rules and regulations are different. Many systems are working in China. No doubt lots and lots of things are produced nowadays, as we all are using these mobile phones, smartphones. They are from China. Why can't India make this? So it's question mark over there due to the really ridiculous policies given by the politicians and many factors that are affecting our country's economic systems and supremacy, etc. So now, what happened? The beginning of Cold War, long-term effect. Effect we can say. After the World War II, the world was divided into two superpowers, that is America and Russia, as we all know. During the war, both the nations were friends, but after the war, the differences of opinion between them went on increasing. Thus, the democratic America and the communist Russia became mutually opposite group. No doubt within the war they were friends, but after that, there are different types of government they were. And due to that, their thinkings, their policies, their principles, their ideas, everything was in one to another way. So now they became each other's enemy, as we can see today till yet. Other small nations of the world were joined these two groups according to their convenience. The war of words and the war of ideologies means idea that both superpower initiated in order to support or oppose each other's opinion created the atmosphere of Cold War. Many a times the situation for the Third World War seems to be created. So many different countries, some countries joined America, some countries joined USSR, we can say Russia too, and their opinion was different. Sometimes it might have a possibilities of a Third World War, but yet not, but it might be in future too. Now what is United Nations? You can understand this is a very good and one of the important topic to go through. So go to the page number 18, some symbol is there of something over there, some round circle, and in between something is there like clouds and just leaves are there, yeah, some. So that's emblem of the United Nations. Emblem means we can say a symbol. At the end of the First World War, the League of the Nations was formed in order to establish world peace. So as you all know that after First World War, there was a league for the peace. Now after the Second World War, there a league was established. But the fact that the World War II occurred meant that the League of Nations was failure. At the end of the World War II on 24th October 1945, please underline, the United Nations was established with the purpose of peace, security and coexistence in the world. Its headquarters was to be in New York. So in 1945, 24th October, we can see that United Nations was formed. A particular league was formed. We can say like this, and its headquarters was to be in New York. Now United Nations headquarters you can see in your pictures. You can see different countries' flags toward. Now America's effort to establish United Nations had already begun. But from the time it joined the Second World War, the American President Roosevelt made 4 important announcements regarding freedom while giving his message to the American Congress with the intention of human freedom, peace and security. So before World War, President Roosevelt, he was a person that there must be peace, security and everything. So he thought of this thing and that was implemented after Second World War. And he gave 4 major messages. Number 1 was freedom of speech and thought, freedom of religion, economic freedom and right to freedom from fear. Superbly derived it. 4 of you have to learn it properly. Obviously there might be a short note, a long question to what is UN means United Nations. Later, President Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Churchill prepared an 8-point agreement while they were on a ship in Atlantic Ocean, which later came to be known as Atlantic Agreement. The agreement included matters like maintaining freedom and sovereignty of every nation, peace, security, social and economic welfare, and disarmaments. Disarmaments means not the fight for the arms. Disarmaments. Then the foreign minister of Britain, America, Russia and China met in Moscow for world peace, which came to be known as Moscow Declaration. In November 1943, 3 superpowers held a conference in Tehran. The representatives of 50 nations prepared the agreement for the United Nations at Washington, September 1944. On October 24, 1945, the 51 member nation declared the establishment of United Nations. India is also a part of it since the 24th October is celebrated as the United Nations Day all over the world. Presently, 193 nations are the member of the United Nations. So underline this last 2 lines. That 24th October is celebrated as the day of United Nations, and today, till today, it has been started with 51 nations. Now there are about 193 and more nations, we can say, those who have joined United Nations Treaty for peace, security, unarmament and many things we can say it. Now organs of United Nations. What are the organs? The structure adopted by the United Nations to achieve its aim includes 6 organs. Number 1 is General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trustship Council, International Court of Justice, and sixth one is Secretariat. International Court of Justice is situated in Hague, Netherlands. All other councils are situated in New York, America. You can say underline this line also. It might be asked, and to develop your GK, general knowledge, it will be helpful to you. Now, activities of the organs of the United Nations, which are they? Number one, General Assembly. What does General Assembly means? Assembly means a meet, we can say, of some dignitaries, some officials regarding the world. What is that? General Assembly means the biggest organ of the United Nations is the General Assembly. It includes the representatives of all member nations. Every nation can send maximum 5 representatives to this, but during election, only one vote of each country is counted. It can discuss, advise, suggest, or recommend on any matter related to international relations. It accepts the budget presented by the Secretary General every year and allocates the expenses. It attempts to find solutions to the economic problem of the nations, human rights, disarmaments, or other international matters. Decisions are taken by 2/3 majority in general matters. So, a very good, we can say, assembly. That every member, those who have joined United Nations, are the representatives of the assembly. Apart from that, 5 members from a country, 5 dignitaries, 5 persons, those who are eligible, knowledgeable, they can attend it. But while voting, only one vote of a particular country is considered, and 2/3 of the majority declares, we can say, give judgment, give not knowledge, but give efforts to establish the welfare of the people, social welfare, economical welfare, if any problem regarding international disputes, anything, these all are solved in this General Assembly. Now we are going to Security Council. Which type of? What is Security Council? Security word suggests that there must be some security part. We can understand that. Now what does this council do? This is the most important organ of the United Nations. There are 5 permanent members in this, with America, Britain, France, Russia, and China. Other 10 countries are not permanent members. They are elected for a term of 2 years by the General Assembly. This council enjoys tremendous powers in order to maintain international peace and security. We can understand that. So there is a map or a chart of veto power used till 2006. Veto power is a word. Veto means power, specially powered, given to a specially person. For example, specially veto power is given to Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. Veto power is given to the President of Ramnath Kovind, President of India, that he can use a special power to control the country. You can understand, that is called veto power. So here let's go to further, that 5 members are the permanent. Apart other members, those who are elected, their term stands for 2 years. So America, Russia, France, and China and Britain are the permanent member of this security department, we can say Security Council. It solves the problem and disputes of the nation peacefully through negotiations and mediations. So whatever it does for if any dispute regarding any country by land, anything else, as we have a case of Jammu and Kashmir as we are fighting for to with Pakistan. This matter has gone to the United Nations. Now what they will do? They will give a proper justice towards this problem over there. Yeah, this case we can say, when any one permanent member does not vote in support of some important international matter, it cannot take decision on that. This power of the 5 permanent member is called veto or right to deny. Russia has used this veto power maximum number of times. So when any one permanent member does not vote in support of some important international matter, it cannot take a decision on that. This power of the 5 permanent member is called veto or right to deny. Russia has used the veto power maximum number of times for a particular matter. A particular member can use his veto power regarding any international matter. Special power we can say, and charge itself will derive that Russia has taken more than any other country. Now, economical and social council. What are the economic and social council? The council is also called UCOSOC, ECOSOC. The General Assembly appoints of its retiring member for 3 years. This council tries to raise the standard of living of the nations of the world without any basic of religion, caste or region. This council and its sub-councils work all over the world. WHO, World Health Organization, as we can hear this name nowadays to and fro, that WHO, it's WHO, but it's World Health Organization. These abbreviations you have to learn. Works to improve the health of the people of the world. IMF, International Monetary Fund, works to establish financial stability. So there must be financial stability of a country too. That it won't raise its value, decrease its value whenever it wants. But no, there is economic stability and it controls these sections. IMF controls the economic stability while WHO goes through the world health or improvement in the health of the people. As we can see in this crucial time, coronavirus time, WHO works too much for this. It advises to the governments of the different types of country to take particular steps, these, that, everything. Now FAO, Food and Agriculture Organizations, helps to improve agriculture productions, forestry and fisheries and raise the nutrition level. It helps in improvement of agriculture, fishery, etc. related to food and agriculture. ILO, International Labour Organization, work to provide right and justice to the laborers of the world. It helps to provide rights and justice to the labor throughout the world. Now UNICEF, one of the most dominant we can say, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. It's a particular type of fund that helps in development of children. Undertakes child welfare activities to improve the health of the children of the world by providing nutritional food and educations too. Now UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, works to improve the cooperation between nations by removing illiteracy, raising the standard of the living of the people through education, providing justice, education, science and cultural resources. Besides these, there are sub-councils and regional councils which undertake various activities. There are examinations regarding UNICEF, UNESCO. They provide what we can say scholarships to the students, and many scopes are there for job in these all organizations in WHO IMF, FAO, ILO, UNICEF, UNESCO. You all will get, if you study well, if you pass these examinations, international examinations, like you pass the IAS, IPS, and these all examinations regarding India, if you pass the international level examination of these all councils, you can get a very, very good job regarding this thing. You can make your life better than India in this international organization too. So if you withstand, if you go through your language very properly, in science, any type, every stream person, student who is in masterate in a particular field, particular subject, can go through this organization, and you can help in two ways. You will be helped by money, means a very good salary. Apart, you can do social work too by serving the whole world. So you can make a career regarding this thing. Now, what are the subcommittees, means sub-councils? What are the other councils? They are working under this council, Economic and Social Council. Those are Trusteeship Council. What is trusteeship? As you all know that Jay sir is our trustee, Mewada sir is our trustee, SP Naik sir, KK Patel sir. These all are our trustees of school. What they do? Just we can, yes, trustee sir is coming, trustee is coming, trustee is doing so, trustee is saying this. What does it mean? Trust means trust a particular organizations, and the functionaries are there. Those who are working for the development of the society too, for the development, for example, those person, Jay sir and all, Mewada sir and etc. Though they are working for the development, educations of the students and the school too. So like this trusteeship council, there are 5 permanent members. Nations in the council, the representatives selected by the General Assembly are included here. It oversees matters pertaining to nations that have not acquired independence, are under some previous mandate. Also nations defeated in the Second World War, as well as its social, economic, political development. So these trusteeship councils help the countries, those who are under rule of any other country, the countries, those who got lots and lots of losses regarding the Second World War. Yet there are many countries in the world, though they are underdog, but these trusteeship councils help them to develop economically, financially, we can say socially, etc. Now, International Court of Justice. Its headquarters is in the city of Hague, Netherlands. There are 15 judges in it who are appointed for 9 years. It solves dispute between nations, gives verdict on international dispute presented before it, and gives legal advice. So therefore everything there must be a court too, where to take these solutions, where to go and solve this thing. So they are having a court in Netherlands. So every matters regarding judicial things are being, we can say, brought over here, we can say declared over here, we can say kept over here, and they can find their justice too. Now, Secretariat. What is Secretariat? The office of the Secretary General of the United Nations is called the Secretariat. The General Assembly appoints the Secretary General for 5 years. Secretaries, administrators, assistant translators, and experts are also appointed to help the Secretary General. The Secretary is situated in New York. The United Nations has constantly been making efforts to establish world peace, world unity, and to achieve the dream of universal brotherhood. So there must be a head of something. As we can see, Jay sir is our head of our school. So there must be a secretariat person. So what happens? Many countries are joined in this UN. So, and some countries are, and obviously some might be there that they were having the problem of this language apart. The workers, the administrators, the staff, so they might also, because they are coming from different countries. Apart from that, there are different cases to be solved, and they are to be in the particular language. So translators are there, administrative officers are there, many, as I told, you can make your career regarding this all councils, international councils, and you can build up yourself. You can learn different languages and go through this examination. You can pass your examination and build your career. This is also one type of scope. Those who are fond of foreign countries, they can apply this thing. Those who have to make career, they also can do too within this. So America from the beginning, before the Second World War, President Roosevelt, he tried his level best, and he was in search of this thing, that there the peace and everything can maintain. So we have gone to the movements towards the new world. Now as we all are living in the new world, as we are having lots and lots of these facilities, this is due to the UN and the works of UN. So go through it. Read something more, as this chapter I think so has been finished now, and you can have it, the exercise, in your notebook. No need to part every lesson thoroughly. You can write everything, but you have to write all the exercise as you all are free at home. Till then, thank you very much.